everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to review the teaser trailer for Captain America: A Brave New World. Now, this movie is interesting. Firstly, it is the fourth movie in the Captain America franchise. My personal opinion, the best trilogy of the MCU. I think all three movies are different and great in their own way. I just made a video about the first Captain America, the first Avengers movie, and how underrated that movie is. So this movie not only is the fourth movie in the Captain America franchise, it serves as the sequel to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which concluded with Sam Wilson accepting the mantle that was bestowed upon him by Steve Rogers to be the new Captain America. Now, that show had its issues. Admittedly, it had a lot of issues. But in the end, I ended up thinking that show turned out... In the end, I thought the show was still a good show. I still love the chemistry between Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. And the story of Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson accepting what it means to be Captain America. Because the idea that they played with, which is a real honest idea, let's just be forward here. If there was an actual figure in American history who was both, not just oh, he's a hero. There are there are many American heroes, many people who did brave things in combat and with Purple Hearts and all kinds of things. But none of them are But this is another thing, man. Captain America is not only a national treasure, he's a living legend. The name, the title, what it represents, the shield, it represents so much. Honestly, it's such a powerful mantle and position to have in America. And the vibe you get is, and this is something they kind of touched in the show, is that it was made easier. I often say that there are certain characters who can't be race swapped in comic books. And one of them is Steve Rogers. Because if Steve Rogers is black, it completely changes the concept. It's a totally different story that you would have to tell during World War II. But Steve being white, which is not a big deal, but Steve being white, it kind of allowed him a bit more free reign to maneuver than it would have if he might have been someone of another color. But in that sense, Steve is so pure and so pure-hearted and so innocent that it never occurred to him the type of baggage that comes with giving the mantle of Captain America to a black man, Sam Wilson, and the things that come with that. And the entirety of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for the most part, was about Sam coming to terms with, should I do this? Not only am I the right man for this job, can I handle the baggage that comes along with it? But can I handle the black community coming at me saying that I'm a sellout? Can I handle people trying to take advantage of me because of who I am? In a way that they probably would have never approached Steve. It's an entirely different position. And making Sam Captain America, honestly, it adds an entire different layer, an entire different, social commentary on the mantle, which they were already telling with Steve Rogers, especially in Winter Soldier, with the whole surveillance, fear of surveillance, and him just being like, this isn't freedom, this is fear. They're already tell. And the thing about Captain America character, and something a lot of people fucking miss, and anyone who will argue any way else doesn't understand the character, is that Captain America has always been political. It has. I mean, there are comics about him knock out KKK members. When the whole thing with Nixon happened back in the day, there was an entire comic book. Now, they didn't name Nixon in the comic, but we all knew who the fuck they were talking about. The entire comic book series, little story, based on everything that happened with Nixon. Captain America has always been a highly political character because he's Captain fucking America. There's just something about that. You're not going to ask this guy's opinion. Now, typically he does try to stay out of it, but even sometimes he can't, So since he's Captain America, it's impossible. A lot of his stories revolve around something political. So Captain America as a character allows Marvel to tell those kind of stories, and it just makes sense. So in the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam accepted the mantle, he accepted responsibility, he accepted that if I don't take this, the government's just gonna give it to someone who maybe doesn't have the heart to do this, because the big thing about being Captain America is you have to be a good man. You can't be a great soldier. That's not enough. You have to be an actual good human being to be Captain America. Because if you're not, the power and the sway, the damage you could do as a bad person being Captain America could be irreversible. So Sam's like, I have to take this mantle. I'm the only one who can take, he asked me to do it. I'm the only one who can do it. I'm gonna do this. And he had to get there on his own, but he got there. Hence this new movie. Now this trailer, and there's also a little bit of tidbit about this movie. There's a lot of noise about reshoots and all this, and it's a mess and all this shit. So I was nervous, like a lot of people. But seeing this trailer, it was fucking awesome. I mean, from the start, first of all, Harrison Ford has been recast as Thunderbolt Ross. R.I.P. William Hurt, OG Thunderbolt Ross. I miss him already, but having Harrison Ford step into this role is going to be cool too. And in this world, in the simple premise that they're setting up here is, Thunderbolt Ross is the President of the United States. Yes, a former villain is the President of the United States. It's been done a couple times in Marvel and DC. But I don't think Thunderbolt Ross has ever been the president in any comic book. So this is already an interesting step into new territory in terms of Marvel, Marvel lore. So Thunderbolt Ross is the President of the United States. And he asked Sam, and he's clearly invited Sam out, and he asked Sam, I want to talk about making Captain America an official part of the U.S. government. Because as we kind of found out too, now we kind of already knew this, because they never said it, but as they make it very clear in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that the Captain America name and mantle and all that shit, it's in a gray area. There are no real legal, like, nobody legally has the rights to that shit. Like, it's a weird, like I say, it's a weird area with the Captain America mantle. So, you know, and everyone saw that Sam Wilson is the new Captain America. People know Sam was the Falcon and he's the Captain America. Everyone knows that. He's a public-faced Captain America. And the last time the government picked the Captain America, it turned out horribly wrong. So everyone's just like, Sam's Cap, fuck what the government's talking about. Which is why Thunderbolt Ross feels like he has to ask Sam to come on board to be Captain America, because ain't nobody else gonna be down for that shit after last time. After the last person they picked fucking went ballistic and murdered someone in the fucking public square, they're not gonna exactly trust that shit anymore. They're like, so Thunderbolt Ross feels like he has to ask Sam to come on board. And of course, if you've been keeping up with the MCU in the past, they got history. I mean, he did throw him and a bunch of other people in jail once. So obviously Sam's a little dubious about it. Of course, he asks the $1 million question, which will probably be the big arc of the movie, which is, okay, sure, but what happens when I see something a different way and you want me to do it a different way for political reasons? Because like, he's like, that was always Steve's whole thing. He was like, bro, I don't want to be making decisions based on politics, man. Fuck that shit. I want to make decisions based on what I should do. If I see a fucking terrorist attack going down, I'm not gonna not fly out there to stop it because well, the political climate. People are dying, man. I gotta do shit. I'm a hero at the end of the day. And that's kind of Sam's whole thing. He's like, bro, I gotta be able to save lives when lives need to be saved. I can't save lives because you want me to save certain lives. So that's already an interesting aspect, and it's right up top what they're going with. But when we get into it, it's just a lot of action shots. It seems they're definitely going for that Winter Soldier vibe. It's very Winter Soldier-esque. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I'll just say Winter Soldier, because that's the vibe you get from the soundtrack to the way it was edited to the way it looks. You got this whole thing with Isaiah Bradley from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Clearly something's going on with him if he attempted to kill a president of the United States. We know the leader is going to be the villain in this. We know Giancarlo Esposito, at least we think, is playing some ex-SHIELD agent. We don't know who, but he's playing some ex-SHIELD agent. And he's in a lot of this trailer too, which is very surprising. If you know, you know. But we also know that Thunderbolt Ross will most likely become the Red Hulk. Yes, the Red Hulk will be making his debut in this movie. Now, one of the biggest questions is, how the fuck is Sam gonna handle him? Now, it seems like his costume and his outfit is gonna get a huge boost up. At a certain point in this trailer, he straight up flies through he uses his wing to like just chop a jet in half or some shit. And I was like, Okay, yeah, that's a lot better than what he was doing. Like, if he's that fucking good with this shit, he can chop fucking planes in half and shit with his wing. I'm like, okay, maybe Sam is upgrading his gear a little bit. He's getting a little better. But clearly, this is a conspiracy theory. There's rumors and conversation, and I might make a separate video to talk about this, that this movie is going to really center around Tiamat? I think it's Tiamat. The Eternal that didn't come fully out of Earth and is frozen. Like the head and the hand. Like the hand's up and the head's up. But it's frozen in the middle of the ocean. And I don't know if they ever say which ocean and where, but that there's going to be a battle over the resources of that. Now the rumor is it could, like whatever they turned him into could be the source of adamantium. There's also a rumor that this could be like whatever the mineral that Tiamat is made of, that they turned him into anyways, could be the source of how we get the Sentry and the Thunderbolts, because it's all but confirmed the Sentry will be in the Thunderbolts. And we still don't know much about the Thunderbolts, because the Thunderbolts in this movie are very connected to the point where they haven't revealed the actress, because the Thunderbolts aren't going to just be called the Thunderbolts. They're going to be called the Thunderbolts something something. But they can't reveal that until this movie comes out, which this movie doesn't come out till February. So we got like 7 months till this movie comes out. But even still, this was a great trailer, great soundtrack, great editing on this bad boy. Sam looks awesome. It was cool seeing Red Hawk. Joaquin Torres is in there as the new Falcon. You get a glimpse of him if you're paying attention. I'm excited, man. I love Captain America Winter Soldier and Civil War. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and this really gave me those vibes. And I feel like we're not even getting into the thick of it yet. So I'm excited about this movie. What did you think of Captain America: A New World? Oh, not New World Order. That was the original title. A Brave New World. Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please leave a like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Goodbye.